Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Don.
Do you want to learn video?
No, not necessarily.
I think we have to.
Damn it. It's time, isn't it?
It is time.
Video is becoming more and more necessary on events. Clients want video more, and we need to adapt.
They want video more, and sometimes they don't necessarily want full-scale video. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they just want a few clips.
Correct.
But I've had way too many instances lately where I don't get a job because I don't offer video. And I feel like I just need to fix that.
All right. So let's dive into why we need to shoot video, what it takes to shoot video, how hard it is coming from photography, and how easy it is coming from photography.
And this is not at all to diminish the work that videographers do.
Yeah.
Because, like, I am never going to be able to do what they do. Like, we've had Rose on, we've had Steve on. Like, they literally have spent decades honing their craft. And I am not at all saying, like, oh, yeah, it's super easy. We could just do exactly what they're doing. But there is a certain acknowledgement that, like, every single one of my Bar and Bat Mitzvah clients that ask about video, I refer to Steve and Rose, and I would say like 10% that I send to Steve and Rose book a videographer at all.
Right.
Because it's just out of their budget for what they wanted. And it could just be like they're not looking for full-scale video, like they just want a few clips of certain things.
Right.
I've even had that on a nonprofit job last year. It was like a Christmas festival, and they wanted... the helicopters are coming for you.
Are we being attacked?
It was a Christmas festival, and they just wanted video clips of the nuns in the chapel singing and stuff because they were doing a special presentation later. They're not going to hire a separate videographer for 10 minutes of video.
Yeah.
You know? So there's a lot of reason for it.
And also with your clients that have passed too, like, do you think it would have helped even if you had used one of our fellow videographers, but you'd kept it under your umbrella?
Well, I always assumed, because the videographers we know and work with are what I would consider high-end.
Yeah.
Right? Because we know most of them from working at Disney, and I assumed that they were out of budget for me to be able to do that in line with, like, where my pricing is at. It's just, like, not comparable. And at the time, I wasn't editing video. So it wasn't even an option to just like hire someone to shoot it and I will deal with it. Because what am I going to use? iMovie?
Shout out iMovie, actually.
But like that's all I knew how to use. So it wasn't until, we started this podcast really. That could even become an option where I could edit the final product. So yeah, I think that would have been possible, but I didn't.
I just think people are definitely looking for a one-stop shop in terms of they may not care on the back end how they get it, but they want it all within one person. They don't want to go to a bunch of other people.
Well, and honestly, most times if you're hiring photo and video together, it's going to be less expensive than hiring a separate photographer and a separate videographer.
And if you know what the job is, where it is a nonprofit, where you don't need the huge multiple gimbals and things like that, you can be like, no, this is what it needs to be. As opposed if they went to them and then they're like, well, this is all the things we do, and they're just like,
Right. There's different levels of need. And don't get me wrong, I have already had scenarios where I was like, oh gosh, this is why I don't shoot video.
Right.
But yeah, I just felt like I was missing out on potential work and, didn't want my abilities to be the reason for it if I can learn how to do video.
Okay. So that's why we're doing video. Or at least learning.
Yes.
We took a lot of crash courses just filming this podcast.
A lot.
There's been a lot of mistakes.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Where it's a good thing we had 3 cameras.
Correct.
One of them went down.
So 2 types of video, though, that we're kind of offering, or at least learning into. So we have hybrid, and then we have traditional, like, just video coverage.
Right. So hybrid shooting, for a long time I had thought about for family portraits. Like, doing photography and videography in the single portrait, just me by myself. Just thinking like all the cute candid stuff I do where they're walking, holding hands, or like they've got a little one and they're swinging them between their arms. Like those are really great as photos, but like, wouldn't it be cool to just have a cute little highlight reel of videos from that? And I always wanted to test it out, and then I would get to the session and it would be mayhem. And I was like, nope,
never mind.
Not today. But yeah, so that would be considered hybrid shooting, where it's one individual doing photo and video at the same time.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yikes.
And then separately, where you have one person or two dedicated to photo and one or two or three dedicated to video.
Correct. Different cameras.
Right. Jacob doesn't want to do hybrid shooting.
No. I would rather put 19 cameras on my body than
strap them all on. One on your forehead.
But it is cool, though. Let's kind of focus with hybrid, though, that you can, especially in today's mirrorless cameras, that you can actually do that. And how do you do that?
Well, okay, so
walk me through this. Like I've never done it.
So I've done it for a couple of jobs already.
Yeah. That
were slow-paced, chill situations. So one was a family portrait into like a birthday dinner, and then the other was like a paint and sip class. We'll just say. And so for both of those, I was shooting on the same camera. I was using my X-T5, and the X-T5 has just a little dial that switches from still images to video.
Okay.
And it maintains the memory of what settings you were on for each of them.
Which is very nice.
So I literally I would be shooting photos, and then I would flip the switch, and then, so for the family portrait one, I have everyone around grandma. Okay, everyone, look at grandma and squeeze in for a hug. We do that once for photo. And then, okay, we're going to do one more time. And then I flip the switch and record and do it for video. For those, I was also shooting, well, we can get into this when we talk about like what we need to know. But I was shooting so that I could slow down those clips. I was shooting 60 frames per second. So then in the final edit, it's just kind of like slow motion, cute, sweet moments. Same thing with the paint and sip class. I shot it the same way. I'm sure there are different capabilities with different cameras. The XH2 has a quick record function, so you can switch from manual, shutter priority, aperture priority to video.
Correct.
And so I can just switch between manual and video on the dial. But then there's also a quick record button, so you can just be shooting and then hit the quick record and it'll record a video clip. There are some limitations to what settings you can control on that.
At least as far as we know.
As far as we know. Basically, I've figured out you can only do that with auto ISO, which isn't always correct. So, but that's another way that I've done it for a few things.
Right.
On the other camera.
Technology. And then we'll stick with hybrid, though. So how are you delivering then said...
This is a work in progress.
Correct, because this is all new to us.
Yes.
So
it's all new, and I either didn't charge...
Actually, real quick, before that, though, at this point, we're now telling people, though, that you're doing it, or is it still a surprise?
It's available for certain things.
Okay.
So, like, the paint and sip, I didn't tell her about the video. I mean, I told her I was going to do it, but I didn't charge her. It wasn't something she asked for. It was just, like, a practice to see how it would go. Whereas the other one... They specifically asked for it, and so I just did like a slight increase.
Okay.
But I knew it was like a fully controllable situation, so I knew I could deliver that. Because it wasn't like, even though we went into the birthday dinner, it's not like a bar bat mitzvah or a wedding where there's like specific moments you have to capture, right?
Sure.
It was just like candids of the family hanging out. So what was the question?
I don't know. It was...
how do I deliver
Yeah, how
them?
do you deliver?
So right now, not in a very nice way, because CloudSpot lets you add a video to your gallery.
A video?
I think you could put up to 3.
Okay.
But you are just sharing, basically embedding a link to a video. So I can send them the gallery and have their video posted on YouTube, and then the video is in the gallery, but they can't download that. So they could see it.
Yeah.
And everyone could see it. but I've just been delivering the video via Dropbox. There are other gallery systems meant to deliver photo and video together.
And I think this is something that is even behind even us about that. Because anything photo gallery related seems to be, from what I could find, a little behind in that too. I think they're scrambling to be like, okay, we got to add both or have more space, but that's going to cost them much more money. And that's going to cost us more money.
Yeah, there are a few I found, well, that Rose told me about.
Yeah.
But it seemed to be more like they were video delivery that added photo, which is probably way easier than a photo gallery adding video.
And I looked at all the traditional photo ones.
And they don't have...
They're coming or they have it, but like it's not, it doesn't seem as intuitive, clean, a lot of links, a lot of... The video's over here.
Yeah.
Just take these 9 steps to go get it over here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think what I'm doing is particularly clunky. Like in the gallery delivery email, I put download your video here and then just Dropbox link and they click on it and download. But
in the future, you would love to be, again, one stop. You just go and then they deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we're just going to stick with hybrid stuff since we're here, but have you worried about missing, and I know you haven't done it fully, but what about us missing moments?
That's what stresses me out. And why I haven't tried offering this for a wedding. Well, actually, the wedding that we talked about last episode, I had told you before that wedding, hey, I'm going to try to shoot this hybrid. I need you to be on top of stuff.
And then got real.
Went out the window.
Right out the window.
I think I mentioned, we did their quote unquote engagement photos the day before the wedding because they're from out of town. And I did shoot that hybrid. Again, controllable. Easy. When you look at other hybrid shooters and they explain how they do it, they just take less pictures and more videos. And the thing is too, they prioritize particular moments for one or the other. If it's something that makes more sense as a video, they care more about whether they get it as a video. And then sometimes they just double up on everything. The one guy, he was saying, I just talk to the officiant before the ceremony and tell them, hey, have them do their first kiss, and then before they go down the aisle, tell them to kiss again. So he does video for one and then photo for the other. And he feels like the video is more important, so he does the video for the first kiss and then photo for the kiss before they walk down the aisle. Okay. So there is some manufacturing. Because think about when we're out doing our freelance weddings, a lot of times it's, okay, you're doing this for photo. Okay, now everyone do it for video so that we don't have the flash in it. So people are already doing it twice. Yeah. And so we can just, if you want to shoot hybrid, you can just ask them to do it twice. Other things like first dance, there's plenty of time
to do both. Yeah.
So yeah, some things they just think about, is this more important as a photo or video, and prioritize that way in case they don't get both.
And I know we haven't really tried it with a full wedding yet, but do you think if the hybrid, would you still put up a solo, not solo is not the right word, but a static camera just to have both? Because now you're just mixing both, but is that the game that has to be?
So out of the hybrid shooters I've been researching who openly share about it, they don't do stuff like that.
Okay.
But they do usually have their second shooters also shooting hybrid.
Gotcha.
So think about if we're splitting up for getting ready. Yeah. If the second shooter is only doing photo, then the groom doesn't get any getting ready video.
That's true.
So, and the thing is too, the end video is just a highlight reel. So it's not...
Which is exactly what, honestly, most couples want.
It is. That's what I was saying. With our intention of adding video, it's not to replace what videographers do.
Yeah.
But not everyone wants or can afford what a videographer can do.
They can't afford both.
Right.
That's a problem. And I'm not trying to be us, but photo usually still comes first.
Yes.
When you put them 2 to 2 together, they're going to choose photo 90% over video.
Yes. Yeah. And I think, too, you have to talk to your couples, what's most important to you, Like, do you want more moments as photo with like little candid moments as video? You know, like that's a conversation you can have to sort that out. But there's no promise in what gets into the final video because you're not capturing, you're not documenting. You're just, it's like the vibe reel basically. You know, and most of the hybrid shooters that I've been researching, it's same thing. They shoot it at 60 frames per second and edit at 30, so all the clips are slowed down. And really, when you're doing that, your clip doesn't have to be as long. Like, you can get 3 seconds of the bride walking down the aisle with her dad.
That's true.
And the rest of the time you're shooting, but that 3 seconds becomes 6 seconds. So it's like a different train of thought because you're not documenting everything. You're just, it's getting ready could be 2 clips. It could be mom zipping the back, which we make mom do 17 times anyway.
Correct.
And the bride putting her earring in. And now you've moved on because you're only delivering like a 2-minute highlight reel of the whole day. So it's like a different frame of mind.
And really, I think what it comes down to is really knowing your camera. I mean, we know our cameras, but then to train yourself to switch modes quickly and then switch back quickly.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest hurdle.
And there are things that I've had to learn about my camera, like the X-T5. I don't use touchscreen when I'm shooting images. Yeah. But when I'm doing video, I use touchscreen because then I can move my focus point with the touchscreen and make sure it's staying on what I want it to be on. And then other things get hit on the touchscreen that I'm just not used to changing by touch.
Gotcha.
So those were some, like, as I was doing practice video work where I was like, what the heck is happening? I'm like,
so now you need a custom function just to turn the touchscreen on. So that's like 6 steps. And then obviously we know what traditional video, if you were to offer that, is with multiple cameras.
Yeah.
Again, it's more like, could we offer that, or do we just bring someone else into our umbrella?
Well, so I did that for a bar mitzvah. They wanted photo and video. And so I did the video portion and then I hired a separate photographer to do the photography. It was like just the service and a 45-minute reception. Would I have done it for a full real thing? Not yet. You know, like, and it was not a service at a temple.
Yeah.
It was so like lots of rules out the window, much more laid back. So, yeah, I think, you know, having talked with Rose, she's like, just hire me to shoot it. And knowing what she would charge for that, like, that is in the budget to pass on. So I think it would be a dedicated videographer, dedicated 1 or 2 photographers, and it might not always be me. It might be me sending that out to someone else. It's just always hard when you're, like, doing the inquiry part with a client when you have to ask other people first to know if you're even available.
Exactly.
Which is why I felt like I just want to know I can do the video part because I have 30 photographers I could pick from and I have like 3 videographers.
That's fair. All right, so you're going to start hybrid shooting. What gear do you need?
Everything.
But wait, I thought we have everything already.
So for hybrid, I feel like we do have everything because I'm just shooting handheld.
Yeah.
And I'm not setting up tripods.
And we typically shoot one camera, one body on. You're not adding a second body for this. You're not doing like one photo, one video. You're sticking straight with, or have you thought about it?
I thought about doing both.
Yeah.
Because normally I shoot my main camera on my Spider holster, so I don't have a neck strap. Where having the neck strap really helps with stabilization because you can like shorten the neck strap and use it as an anchor point to keep your camera a little more steady. Although honestly, like the footage I've been getting handheld is in a highlight reel kind of way where it's getting slowed down. It's been pretty usable as is.
Sure.
However, when you do regular video, you need lots of tripods.
Lots of tripods. They call them sticks in the business.
I'm not in the business.
Jacob's top tip.
And microphones, because audio is audio is probably the scariest part. Obviously, we're not.
We don't even have a good one. This isn't even real. This is just for show.
But yeah, like capturing audio for ceremonies, if you're doing like vows and things like that.
And why they have so many backup audios. Mm-hmm. It's like they mic the officiant and the and the groom. Mm-hmm. Then they'll plug one into the speaker if there's one.
Well, that's what I did a few months ago when I was second shooting with Stephanie, and last minute they wanted to add video for the ceremony, and we were shooting on a yacht. So it's like they only wanted ceremony for 30 minutes. You can't hire a videographer for 30 minutes when you're trapped on a boat for 5 hours.
Right.
You know, like that doesn't even make sense. So
that makes a good point. Why hybrid? Mm-hmm. Why we're doing more hybrid, because that's exactly right, is we're getting more and more where they just want video for this. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to find, and nor would any videographer come out for that.
Right. Well, I mean, they'd charge their full,
Correct.
You want me on the boat for 5 hours? Okay, you have to pay for 5 hours, even if you only want me to shoot for 30.
And they should.
Right, exactly. Right. So for that, I had 3 cameras, and I had 3 microphones. So I did... 1 camera up on a tripod in the back. No, I did 2 cameras up on tripods in the back. I did the action camera for like super wide. And then I did my XH2. And then I had my XT5 on a monopod that I was like moving around with so I could get the processional and stuff like that. Which was good too, because at one point I got trapped. You know how when you're on...
Yeah.
But you know how when you're on the yacht Starship, if they have too many guests and you're up getting the processional, once the bride and groom, or like the bride gets up there with her dad, you can't fit.
No.
So I was trapped, and Stephanie was trapped on the other side. Mm-hmm. She was getting the bride from behind, and so yeah, so we were. That's what she said. We were just stuck. But anyways, and then I had a microphone on the officiant, a microphone on the groom. And then I had a recorder next to the speaker. It was like a backup.
And my cell phone, just recording a voice memo.
I did do that.
It works.
I did. That was my backup. Uh-huh. So, oh no, I take that back. That was next to the speaker, my phone. And then the recorder was on the microphone because there was a singer. So it was on her microphone. There's like, I have a little sleeve that the recorder slides into. So she's holding it, right near where she's singing.
All right. Mm-hmm. What other new gear?
And I also got a gimbal.
You got a gimbal. Mm-hmm. You got a gimbal. Again, this is more for just straight videographer. Because you would not have time if you're doing hybrid to then gimbal something.
No.
Click, click, click.
No. I've only used the gimbal on practice jobs so far. I've used it on like branding videos. I haven't. Even the other like paid jobs I've done handheld or tripods or monopods.
Sticks.
So.
All right. What's been super easy though about?
Well, I mean, we have a leg up on exposure and compression and lens choice, and like all of that stuff is the same. Mm-hmm. And honestly, sometimes I'm envious of videographers because they get to have such a slower shutter speed. And so, it's not as daunting when you're in a darker room.
And composition, you already know. Mm-hmm. Like, you already know what looks good, what light looks good.
I'm already paying attention for like the moments because I want to get pictures of them. So I'm able to find those special moments to capture. So yeah, I mean, that part, we definitely have a leg up having so many years experience in photography and like pretty good knowledge of our cameras that we can translate into the video part. So yeah.
But what's been tough?
However, there's just so much to learn about, the quality of a video, the record, like the actual recording type.
Yeah.
I know what was recommended to me to use, and I don't change from that. And I don't know why.
But what does this do?
You would pick the H2624
2864? 8264?
I picked that because someone said that's what I need. And I have not tried to go beyond that. You know, sometimes learning the focus modes for video is a little different. And then audio is just
It's a whole other beast.
Whole new world. And there's just so much to consider for audio. And then the gear I have is not set up right now where I can monitor the audio. So it's really just like, do it 15 times and cross your fingers that one of them
One of them's going to work.
works.
And then on the back end, whole completely different editing style, obviously.
It's a whole thing. Well, then...
And it's even different than us editing this. And this is how good of a videographer you are. That turned off again.
Why?
It's always you and it's always your camera.
But I don't know why. Battery was at 100% and memory card had 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Fix it.
We're at 27.
Maybe we're just bored with our content. It's like, this is dumb.
So anyways, another thing that I haven't even really worked with a lot is shooting an F-log.
Yep.
I'm just shooting in like a standard profile.
Explain F-log.
So it's basically like the raw equivalent of video.
Yeah.
Where
so you have all the data, but with all that great power comes a lot of editing.
It does.
A lot of editing.
It does. A lot of color grading. I mean, it's great if you're in funky lighting that keeps changing or something. I don't know, but I'll just get it right and hope nothing crazy happens. I mean, it's not like you don't know that you're exposed properly or not when you're shooting video. So it's not like, you know, with Flash where you could have like a massive power dump out of nowhere that you had no control over on your Flash.
Right.
And so those are things that I still need to learn and practice, but it's also things that like some clients just aren't looking for that level. I mean, half the time they just want video to put on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
a video.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the couple that we talked about last episode, like the number of people that came to me on the wedding day to be like, that video you did for them was so cool. It was literally 5 video clips mixed in with some of their portraits.
Yeah.
And it was 58 seconds. And people were approaching me just to talk to me about it. So, I mean...
And we all want to be old and keep doing what we've been doing for 1,000 years.
Yes.
We don't want to change. But this, unfortunately, or fortunately, this is the change. Mm-hmm. And you might want to get on board.
Are you going to get on board?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I've been actually enjoying the back-end editing of video. Mm-hmm. I've been really getting into it. But we need to start playing around more with just... It's not that it's hard or easy to edit these podcasts, but static cameras, we know the flow. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting when you don't know the flow of... You have a general idea of like what you want it to be, but like, okay, what do I start with? What do I do? How do I cut?
Yeah. Well, that's where when Rose and I were talking about in her interview, when she sat down to help me edit, like she helped me so much with that process.
Are you gonna show me someday?
I have oh yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Like I have all of this footage. I have all of this audio. Like
what do I do?
Where do I start?
Do I just shake it up and throw it into the timeline
And she really did help me. Like the project I pulled up for her to look at was a brand video. So it was like an interview with the co-founders of this organization and then a bunch of B-roll. And, you know, she was like, you have to start with your story of, you know, like taking that audio and like, how are you piecing together that? And it was a 25-minute audio and we wanted it down to like a 2 or 3 minute video. So I had a lot to go through and pull it together. But when I tried to do it by myself, I literally was just pulling chunks of the video or the interview and then putting B-roll over it and then finding the next chunk, but with no plan as I was building.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to break out in hives. Like
she was like scratching.
She was like, I'm actually impressed at how well this is going, considering you just are doing it as you go and you're not crafting that story. So, you know, with her doing weddings, like if she has vows to work with, or like Steve when he does the interviews, like they're probably pulling together the storyline of the audio first and then filling in the B-roll.
Or like if you drop in music or something, you kind of listen to the music and be like, where does the story take us?
That's another thing that's so hard, is all of the like copyright.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain to clients too.
Like, I can't put Olivia Rodrigo in this. I'm sorry.
I mean, you can,
I can,
but it's gonna be expensive.
Uh-huh.
Rose was showing me one site. She pays like $25 a month or $23 a month, and she can get one download a month, like one credit basically of popular songs. Which, you know, if you're doing this a lot, one credit's not getting you very far. You would need to bump up your membership.
It's not $25 a month. It's $25 a song.
Essentially.
Per month.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so you have to find, like, good sources for copyright.
Yeah.
Music and licensing and all of that.
Or cheaper music, or, you know, there's a lot of stock.
Yes.
Music sites, video sites, B-roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like a whole new set of subscriptions to get.
And that's a problem too, because obviously on Instagram they're like, well, why? I just do a reel and I play Taylor Swift every single time. Why can't I do that on my video?
Yep. And I did have like the paint and sip class. I sent her a version of it without music and a version of it with, because then she could just take it, and because I just did it as a reel. I knew she didn't really need it on her website or anything. But yeah, then she could put whatever music she wanted behind it, or she could do a voiceover or whatever. And actually the brand video that I did, they, like, the one woman, her cousin or whatever is a musician, and gave them rights to one of his songs to use as the background music. And I was like, cool. I don't know if that's gonna work. Yeah. Like,
I feel like
I don't have any licensing on my end to post it, but it did. I don't think he was big enough for it to get flagged, but still.
You could get, I mean, I could know Steven Tyler and be like, yeah, you can use my music, but if I put on YouTube, it's still gonna go, nope.
Well, that happened to us when I worked in Athens. You know, REM is from Athens, and they were big supporters of the nonprofit I was working for. And we did a campaign, and I made a video, and this was in, I don't know, 2012.
1997?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So it wasn't
REM?
wasn't high quality, but we had, like, all of our partners and nonprofits and whatever, they, like, made signs, and we got video clips, and REM said that we could use one of their songs for this video that we were using in the campaign. And I don't know how many times I had to email YouTube and be like, please contact the band and the record company. Like, here's the proof. Like, we had permission from Burtis Downs, their manager.
Sometimes the band doesn't even own the song, so it doesn't matter. They give you all the permission in the world.
Yeah, the recording companies. Yeah, so I mean, it got fixed, but yeah, it was
still a pain in the butt.
I know. And I make a video for my dad every year of his Christmas village, and he's always like, how can you get better music? And I was like, I don't know.
Pay.
Yeah. Now I know.
Yeah.
But I didn't know before. So.
All right. So that's video, huh?
Well, we didn't talk about the action cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've been having fun with that.
I have.
Wearing them while you're shooting.
I do feel that they work great, but I feel like they still give off more of a BTS vibe, which is what I want to use them for. I don't know, unless I stick it, even then, on my forehead, I don't know if it still provides enough for deliverables for the client. I just burped. But I have been having fun with them. And I took them to Disneyland, and I'm actually going to make a video of our trip.
Oh, fun.
Between cell phone video, the action cameras like on Big Thunder, and just photos, I want to make like a little trailer, a little 1.5-minute trailer of our trip.
That's fun.
With copyrighted Disney music. Because I won't post it anywhere.
We'll share it here.
We'll share it here.
We won't.
But yeah, you know, you see a lot of people have action cameras, camera, 360.
Some of the setups people have are insane. And I feel like it's all available light shooters because they're using their hot shoe to, like, put an action camera or some other.
The 360, the one on a pole that shows everything.
Yeah. Or they'll have a bracket on the bottom of their camera with another shoe mount so they can mount another camera there. And they're like, see, this is how you shoot hybrid. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do that because we have a trigger on our camera. We have speed light. So like, yeah, it only works when you don't have other things.
And then you're just recording everything for no reason. While I still think what you're trying to do is more on everything's done for a reason. You're focused on this for a reason as opposed to just shooting everything and then being like,
right. Like when it's time for family formals, I'm not taking video of that. But if I have both sides of the family, we have the bride and groom kiss and everyone cheers. Okay, that's what I do video.
And we always do that 9 times anyway.
I know. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to keep it open and hopefully, as people say like, hey, do you do video? And I can say yes.
I'll hybrid sing and shoot with you.
Okay. Excellent. I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm not.
I do enjoy learning something new. And like there's a satisfaction of like, hey.
And you don't want to get stuck in your ways. Because we've seen way too many photographers that get stuck in their ways. And we always said we're not going to be like them. So this is us not being like them.
Yeah.
They're not like us.
And I will say, the videos that I have done, or the hybrid things that I have done, like, they've been really well received. And not to say, like, oh, look at me. But, like, I do think there's something to be said for, like, meeting the clients at what they want. And not everyone wants a full-scale video. Like, the one family where it was, like, family portrait and the birthday dinner, like, it was for the grandmother. Like, the daughter called me and left me a voicemail telling me she was crying watching it because it was so special to have. Like,
but could you also add Taylor Swift to it?
Yes.
And there was something they said too that like we love our video people, but then like okay, you're at this dinner and it's me, it's you, and it's 2 videographers. Like we've done that. We're in this small room and there's 19 of us, photo and video, and you're just like, this is ridiculous with lights and tripods.
Yeah, for a reception with 30 people who are only sitting down.
Correct.
Yeah. So, all right.
Cool.
Well, what'd you shoot this week?
What did I shoot this week? I already forgot.
So I wrote it down for you right there.
Oh, look at you did. I had a family portrait. I remember that. And then I had a freelance wedding. And it was a very last minute, like 2 weeks kind of like, hey, can you shoot this? And I was like, first off, it's a summer. I'm on a Thursday. I'm wide open.
Right.
And it was in town, which is also kind of rare for this freelance sometimes. So I was like, of course. It was only 6 hours. And they were not from here, Central Florida.
Okay.
They're from Texas. And sweet couple. They had a kid together. They'd been together for like 12 years. Just finally, I guess, decided to make it legal. I'm not really sure. I didn't ask. But they get ready in near... even further, kind of in between iDrive and Disney. So, pretty far south. But then they were Catholic, so they chose the Catholic church in downtown Orlando.
Oof.
So from going from basically Sand Lake and iDrive to downtown. And then the reception was back at the hotel. So in a 6-hour wedding, an hour of it was drive time.
There are other churches closer.
Again, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I did end up getting a ticket because I found a great spot right next to the church because it's downtown. There's very little parking except for parking garages. And I was like, I'll have all that gear. I'm by myself.
Sometimes the garages don't have elevators.
Correct.
And then you're lugging your rolling bag down the
like
stairs.
An asshole. And I pull up and there was a spot literally next to the church, almost lined up with one of the entry doors. So I'm like, great. I get in there. And it's one of those where a lot of them have what's called Park Mobile, or there's different apps where you pay on the phone, and then you can even get reminders and repay. This was not one of those. You had to pay actually at the meter. The meter took a card, but you couldn't so it was only for 2 hours. I was like, it's a Catholic wedding. I'm going to be there probably for 3. So I was hoping to get out of there during the ceremony, because we all know Catholic ceremonies are an hour long, and you end up sitting down for a good 35 minutes of it because you don't need to shoot them singing or the pastor.
Right. Once the priest is like doing his homily, you know that's going to be like a 5 to 10 minute at least.
So in my head, I'd already been like, okay, I'm going to sneak out right here because it's literally right out these doors. I'll add in another hour and I'll be good. I didn't know this, but I found out that the groom was converting to Catholicism. And so he was being not only taking his first communion, but also doing a confirmation ceremony. And I have obviously never done one during a wedding. So then I find this out as it's like the priest tells this after they've made the processional. So I'm like, now I can't leave because I don't know when this is going to happen compared to the rest of it. So I had to stay for the whole thing, which is fine. I should. And
well, and you're shooting this by yourself.
Correct.
So
I have no one to say, hey, can you run out there? So it goes a little bit longer, but not too much longer. Do family photos, do couples photos outside. I see my car. I'm like, oh, I'm so close, but I have a job to do, right?
Right.
I get there and I see the ticket on my windshield. I'm like, son of a bitch. And the funny thing was, it wasn't even a ticket for being late. It was a ticket for not parking close enough to the curb. Which,
how far from the curb were you?
I mean, I was like 8 feet, but
you were obstructing traffic.
Apparently,
but
it was something like 8 inches, or I don't know. You could only be so many inches. They took photos. I mean, they take it all now. But luckily, the ticket was nothing. I mean, it was $20. It's not a big deal. But unfortunately, yeah. So then we went all the way back, and this is where it's that weird thing where like their reception was just a dinner. No DJ, no nothing, and no planner. So like I get there and start taking photos, and then the bride and groom just casually walk in. Some guests had started walking in, and so I was like, oh, are we going to do a entry? Do you want? No. But I want to dance with my dad. Okay, well, we can do that. But then sister was late because probably stuck in that horrible traffic. Didn't know where she was going. So then I was leaving at like 6:15, and they were going till 9.
Ooh.
And I was like, okay, well, why don't you just fake dance with your dad? And I made them. I just made them dance in a little corner. I mean, they didn't have music. They wouldn't have had music anyway, or someone would have played their phone maybe. But I was like, you need to at least dance just for photos. And we cut the cake, and that was it. And I left.
Yeah, those are always tough, where they don't want you there for the whole time, but then you have to like cram all of these things.
And there's nobody there to even like guide them. So I become the planner. I become the coordinator.
Which is just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I like when it's a separate person having to like prompt them to, okay, we really need to, if you want this to happen before he leaves.
And even more so if it was my wedding, but when it's a freelance where I'm not even like, I'm already 3 times removed from this.
Well, if it was your wedding, you would have worked this all out beforehand.
Bingo.
And you would have been able to tell them like, hey, that's a long drive. If we have any traffic, people might not make it. Yeah, it's hard when we do the freelance weddings and we don't know what the conversation was as it was getting planned. We just get our to-do list.
And a couple that's from here or from Texas, and they come here and they're like, oh, I'm going to stay and I drive, and then drive to downtown at 5 p.m.
On a weekday.
On a weekday.
I mean, not that it's really any better on a weekend, but still. It
was the first time I ever used the I-4 Express lanes, I'll tell you that. I paid for that too, because I was like, nope, I don't have time for this.
No. Oh, man. Crazy.
All right.
Well, I was on vacation.
You were.
Most of this week. So my mom and sister and nephew came down, and we got a hotel near Disney, and we did Epcot and Sesame Street Place.
SeaWorld?
At SeaWorld. Okay. But we were just there for Sesame Street. So we did that for 3 days. And then I was home for 2 days. One of those days I'm working with a woman who is launching a podcast. So her first recording day was that day. And I went over there to like make sure the lighting's set up, the microphone set up, like what the background looks like, to clean all that up for her so she knew what to do. And then moving forward, I'm just editing the episodes, but we needed to like...
Is it better than ours?
Have a good setup. I'm just saying her first episode did, in fact, get more views than ours.
That's fair.
But she has epilepsy, so her podcast is all about her journey with epilepsy and wanting to like connect with other people with different invisible illnesses, things like that.
Used a lot of flashes for the lighting. No?
Anyways.
Did I ever tell you the story of the bride that had epilepsy? Mm-mm. Should I tell it now? Maybe. It's good. So I had a bride. This was at Disney. Okay. She had epilepsy. And so we had calls, and she was like, no flashes. So I worked my ass off to make sure that Grand Floridian stairs, no flash. We brought in LEDs. We brought in everything we could think of to try and she did. We nailed it. It was Stephanie was my second. We nailed it. Reception, like high ISO, lights, no flash the entire day. The wedding pavilion.
Oh.
Now I did tell her that though, like you're not
There's not much you can do.
Yeah. It's either going to be exposed for the pavilion or exposed for outside.
Mm-hmm. It's because the wedding pavilion where they're standing, behind them is a huge window.
That overlooks the castle.
Yeah. And so it's great that you can see the castle through, but then like the exposure through the window and the exposure inside the pavilion are not the same thing.
So we do all this stuff and we're at the dance party or the reception and we're still shooting and we're great. And her brother comes in and he has a Polaroid camera. And he's in the middle of the camera just going right in her face. And she didn't even didn't even complain or anything. And I was like, we did
oh my gosh,
all of this. And brother is like Polaroid, like as they're dancing. And I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
I was like, you better have a seizure right now.
I've never had clients with epilepsy or sensitive to flash, but I know our friend Courtney has, and she had to do a bar mitzvah, I think, without any flash. Yeah. So a little, because the wedding pavilion was probably the hardest part for you because there's not
the
much
grand.
you can do. Yeah, I mean, that's
how gross the grand
ugly.
is in natural light. Mm-hmm. So much yellow.
Yeah.
So much yellow and green.
To do a party with, no flash. Mm-hmm. And, you don't want, like, everything to be motion blur. Yeah. I think Lauren, whose podcast it is, her seizures only happen in deep sleep. So I don't think that's an issue for her. I
didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. I didn't either. I'm learning a lot.
Deep sea or deep sleep?
Deep sleep.
Because then I just wouldn't go on a submersible.
And then the other day, I had headshots for a judge. I'm photographing his investiture ceremony in September where he's like being sworn in as a federal judge. And so we did headshots at the courthouse for him. And then the rest of the week, I was in Tarpon Springs with Ryan. We had a little like 3-day mini vacation.
You had 2 vacations on top of vacations?
I mean, it was like 6 days. I think you need to chill out.
Okay.
I spent 6 days at a board game convention.
And I got another one coming up too.
So you don't get to say anything. And you're going to Chicago.
That's right. So, but don't worry about me.
So that was my week.
Yeah. Do you want to do the next thing or you want to save it for another one?
No, you can do it.
Want to do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So what's our non-photography corner?
So we both have seen the big summer blockbusters.
Finally. Some of us saw them at an appropriate amount of time.
I only saw it like a week and a half after.
Don't do your squeak voice at me.
Anyways, so we're talking about Superman and Fantastic Four.
Correct.
So what were your thoughts?
Which one do you want to go first? Superman?
Let's do Superman.
All right. I am not, spoiler alert, I am not a big Superman guy. Mm-hmm. Like I've never been into it. Mm-hmm. Don't really care about the character. But I also appreciate what he means in the nerd world.
Sure.
So I'm not like anti-Superman. Mm-hmm. The other Superman movies, I've never been like, these are incredible. Mm-hmm. Didn't care. The last few have been awful.
Yes.
So I definitely not. This movie was a delight. I enjoyed all of it. It made me want to watch more Superman. Made me want to watch where the DC universe is going now. Mm-hmm. I like, though, that's also just a standalone film with no other surprises. I mean, spoiler alert, obviously there's going to be a Supergirl movie.
Yeah.
But that was already announced. Mm-hmm. So there's a little cameo of her in there. But other than that, just a standalone movie. I liked Lex Luthor. I liked the little twist on his parents. Because it's always been like, oh, his parents said the good thing, but then it's actually, oh, his parents are bad. So it made him more human. I like that they were trying to focus on what makes him alien, but what makes him human.
Yeah, it was majorly about that.
Majorly.
I have never seen Superman get the crap beat out of him so many times in my life.
He did get his ass kicked a lot.
A lot. Crypto was my favorite part of the movie. I watched a lot of Superman TV shows growing up. Like all of them.
Smallville.
Yeah, I watched some of Smallville. I watched Lois and Clark. And so there were some things, like, I know there are just so many variations of the Superman story, and like there's not one wrong or right, you know. But I normally prefer when Lois doesn't know Clark is Superman, at least for some part of it.
Sure.
So I was kind of surprised when, like, first scene in the movie, everyone knows he's Superman. I mean, I like Nathan Fillion in it too. He was just ridiculous.
As he always is.
But Crypto was my favorite part. Ryan had a really interesting take on it that I didn't feel right away, but I do think there's some merit to it because the storyline really did follow, like, current events in the world.
They weren't even hiding it.
Not at all. And so, like, he felt like everyone feels like, oh, it was such a hopeful Superman movie. Like, it brought hope. And he was like, no, it was the most hopeless because basically it's the real events of what's happening in our life, but they got a superhero to fix it.
We have an alien.
We don't. Yeah, they got an alien superhero to fix it, and like we don't have one.
An alien and his team of friends.
Yeah, how are we going to fix it? So that's why he felt
Spoiler
like
alert, we're not.
The storyline was a little hopeless. However, Fantastic Four was a different story.
I wasn't done with Superman.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
My big thing is I wish there was more Clark Kent, which kind of goes there.
I will say that was the best Superman versus Clark Kent, like, visual difference I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, he looked and moved like a different human.
Sure. The scene with him and Lois Lane in the apartment where he's being interviewed, I thought is an incredible scene. Where he switches it back and forth. I thought that was really well done. But I wish there was more Clark Kent. There's basically one scene of him going
in the newsroom and then in the apartment, and that's it.
So I wish there was more of that. But I liked the entire cast. James Gunn knows how to do a fight scene. He always does something weird. Like the fight scene where Lois Lane and, was it Mr. Terrific? Like, they get into that, like, camp. And it's a fight scene, but it's not, because you're just in the shell with her while all this nonsense is going on around her. I was like, that's the most James Gunn thing. Yeah. He always does some crazy fight scene where it doesn't, like, it's not what you would think. But yeah, I liked Crypto. There's a little bit of Crypto in there. Too much, maybe. But I did like, well, there was a great scene where he goes, what did he say? He was like, I gotta go find the dog. And I don't even like this dog, but I know he's probably afraid. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's Superman right there. Where he's like, I don't even like this damn dog, but I know he's afraid, and I gotta go find him.
Well, and like the scene where he saved the squirrel. Yeah, like,
exactly.
Yeah, those were very, like, pure, like the pure version of Superman.
Right. Yeah.
I like those. I thought his relationship with his parents felt weird because in the scene in the newsroom, they were like, he almost was like so dismissive of them on the phone, like yeah, ma, yeah, and she was like, you need to come home and visit more, and like he just was kind of blowing them off, and so I thought that's what their relationship was going to be, but then like flipped when he's in Kansas and it's completely different. Sure. And I kind of felt like those were disjointed. Not that, like, that doesn't happen in real life where, like, you love your parents, but, like, you're focused on something else. But
this is weird, but I felt they were too old for the movie. Does that make sense? Like, not for the Earth, but they just kind of felt like, I don't know, they were almost too old for the points they were trying to make with it. Like, they were almost, you know, I mean, I'm sure if you do all the math, it makes sense. But I just felt they should have been, like, a little bit more...
spry.
Dumpy, not dumpy. Is that the right word?
Oh my gosh. Anything else on Superman?
No, it's a good movie.
Yeah. It's good. All right. Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. You can go first this time.
So visually, loved everything.
Style-wise, like...
I want my kitchen to look like their kitchen, and I don't even like the color red.
It's like Tomorrowland that never existed.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed the story. Like, I thought it was pretty accessible. Like, you didn't have to be so deep in superhero lore, which, like, I feel like some of the previous Marvel movies, like, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I hadn't read enough comic books to understand.
Or even seen the last 18 films, too.
And I had seen them, and I still was like, I don't remember what's going on.
Correct.
So I liked that it was...
self-contained.
Yeah, it was contained, and, like, everything you needed to know came in the movie. I liked everyone in their roles.
Absolutely.
I thought they all did a good job. And I had watched the, like, Jessica Alba ones, and I really... I mean, I wouldn't say they were, like, favorites, but, like, I liked them. Like, I liked the concept of the Fantastic Four. But like I said, I didn't feel like I had missed out on anything because I hadn't read all of the comic books. Like, I knew what was going on. The only thing that was weird in that movie was Ben's little, like, thing with his friend or whoever that woman was. I don't know.
The Silver Surfer?
No, the woman that...
No, it definitely felt like the movie, and
like,
I usually rarely say this, but I felt like they cut it too much.
Yeah.
You know there's footage of them having more. I felt the family dynamic.
Well, there was stuff in the trailer that wasn't in the movie.
Marvel always does that, though.
But, I mean, it was very obvious that there was stuff missing.
Yeah. I like the Fantastic Four when they're also a little bit more dysfunctional. Mm. And it felt like we started into a spot where they're, especially at the beginning when they kind of come together, where they're kind of not, like, it feels like they're just fine. They're all good together. And part of the Fantastic Four is kind of them butting heads. Johnny and Ben always butting heads.
Yep.
And
Johnny always, like, picking away.
And they didn't really do any of that. So that was kind of...
Yeah, there was, like, a little bit of teasing, but not...
Yeah, it felt like we almost went too far into the story.
Well, and I also felt like Reed Richards was too emotionally intelligent for what the character is supposed to be. Like, he's supposed to be so brilliant that he doesn't know how to relate to people, and he was very considerate. Like, he had the moments where Sue was getting frustrated with him, but where he was being so pragmatic about things and
he basically
logical.
should be autistic. He should be fully autistic, basically.
But he was much more emotionally equipped than normal.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I liked the storyline of it. I liked the resolution. Like, even though we saw so much in the trailer, like, and people had all these ideas of what was going to happen, like, I still felt like it came together differently than I thought it was going to.
It did, and this is where I'm going to get spoilery. And this is probably my biggest negative of the film. And this is probably it's my issue more than anything, is that now we're up against Doomsday is the next film. Spider-Man does come out next, but they've already said Spider-Man is going to be a kind of a New York-based small story, because nobody knows who Spider-Man is.
Right.
So now we have nothing really connecting us to Doomsday. And that makes me nervous because there's no lead in. Like, did you see Thunderbolts? Mm-hmm. So the ending, spoiler, of Thunderbolts is the Fantastic Four coming to
our universe. Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't happen in this movie. So I
did, like, there were theories where people thought, like, the way, like, the movie was going to end where the Fantastic Four couldn't save their universe and they escaped.
Galactus kills the planet.
Right. And so that's what I was saying, like, it ended differently than I thought it was going to.
And then I thought, too, like, how great would that be if Reed Richards, like, comes to our planet with the guilt that he couldn't save. Because remember, that was a big plot point of, like, I have to save it. I have to think of every bad thing to save it. And he fails.
Yeah.
Right? And then, because clearly I think they're going to set up a Doctor Doom as... See, I would have done that too, where Doctor Doom's like, hey, in Doomsday, I can save this planet. So the Fantastic Four, aligns with Doctor Doom, not knowing he's actually the bad guy. They're like, no, he's going to save it. And everyone else is like, no, he's a bad guy. And they have that. And they could still do that. I just felt that it could have been... I felt like nothing... I don't know. I just feel like, what are we getting here? And that's my problem, because the movie itself, by itself, was great. I love it just as a standalone film.
Yeah.
Felt it could be longer. I felt they cut out some, character stuff. Rarely do I say that. Like, I want more characters, especially with the family.
Yeah.
I thought Galactus looked great. That's probably the first time in a while that Marvel has gotten done scale really well, and looked good. It didn't look, So, production design... lighting, everything phenomenal.
Yeah, Yep.
I was hoping for a little bit more connection to the bigger story. Mm-hmm. And maybe in next year after Doomsday, big apologies, right? Like, no, they did it right. Mm-hmm. But lately they haven't, so I'm a little nervous.
But they did it right with this one. And I think they did it right with Thunderbolts.
I love Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm. I almost, when you're talking about more character stuff, like, I almost think I might like Thunderbolts better. I mean, I cried in Thunderbolts. I loved those characters. Yeah. But yeah.
When she, in Thunderbolts, we're going to go off the topic, when she is like pouring her heart out to Red Guardian when that stuff's happening, and she was like, is that for when she says it's real to me? That might have been from Black Widow. But Florence Pugh was just delivering it.
Mm-hmm. And he was too.
Yeah.
David Harbour was too.
And that's what I wished more of in Fantastic Four. I could have used one less scene of something else and have more of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? I didn't get to say this. My only, like, thing that was taking me out of the movie was I didn't feel like there was a good sense of time. Like, time passed.
Yeah.
In the movie. And a lot of it had to do with, like, when Reed would produce something. Because it would be like, he would mention an idea, or they would be like, oh, we need to go into space. And then, like, the next scene, all of the spacesuits are made. And I'm like, wait, how much time just passed? Like, did he snap his fingers?
He's very good.
Which I know he is, but, like, it was taking me out of the movie. Like, same thing with the dome for the baby carrier.
Yeah.
Like, the special baby carrier, that was all the things proof. Like, it was it was mentioned and then the next scene. And so I'm like, wait, is this the next day? Or is this 2 weeks? Like, yeah. I was having a hard time, but I think that was because of things that were getting cut out. You were losing the in-between that didn't drive the plot, but, like, helped fill in the story. Yeah, like, because I still couldn't tell you how much time elapsed over the course of the movie. Because I just couldn't, I didn't have any anchor points to help me.
I agree.
But other than that, I still loved it.
Still great.
Okay.
Those are our reviews.
All right.
Go see them.
We don't care.
We don't care. All right.
Bye.
Get out of here.